My name is Angelica Larsson and I'm a truck driver from Sweden. Anyways, today we're going to get a wheel loader and we're going to deliver it to Finland, and I just love to drive it.
The very first girl to make truck driving popular, probably the most beautiful driver, was the amazing Angelica. She was a role model to other drivers, male or female. Sweden didn't see this massive impact coming from the young woman who officially started her career at just 19. But something happened that made her fans sad, maybe confused and disappointed. So here's the question. What really happened to her? What eventually led to her downfall? What happened to the name that made waves for a couple of years? Hang on as we explore the life of Angelica and what really happened to her. Sweden's small girl turned celebrity. There has been details about Angelica's childhood. Parents and siblings are not so much. She is widely recognized as an Instagram star, and for her incredible courage she shows in driving semi-trucks. She was born and raised on the 9th of June, 1990, in Stockholm, Sweden. Her parents found out their daughter's passion for trucks at a young age. At just 19, Angelica started her professional journey by obtaining her commercial vehicle license and hitting the road as a semi-truck driver. Well known for her physical fitness, she also has a flawless skin and thick blonde hair, which further enhances her visibility in social media and even beyond. Due to her strong presence in the media space, Angelica quickly earned the nickname the world's most beautiful truck driver, recognized for her special driving skills that beats those of seasoned male drivers. But she prefers to be known for her expertise and work ethic rather than that title. She is excellent in driving various heavy vehicles, including excavators, dump trucks, and snow trucks. She also owns a heavy-duty snowplow that she enjoys using to clear roads for fun. In addition, she is very passionate about her work as she travels the world, earning a lot of respect for her dedication. Before she fully embraced her present trucking career, Angelica held certain positions in the corporate sector, starting her career as a project manager at Cohn & Wolf, where she managed both consumer and corporate assignments. She later worked for Wenderfalk in a similar role and eventually got a position with Stadium as a PR and information manager. After that, she transitioned to Fuse, a public relations firm, as a PR consultant. The CEO of Fuse, Daniel Lagerqvist, acknowledged the importance of bringing her on board, giving her accolades for her unique skills and contributions to the organization. Daniel praised Angelica for her deep understanding of the retail and B2C markets, stating that her experience in communication around health, sports, and movement would be invaluable as Fuse strives to lead in this segment. With her high agency experience, he expressed confidence that her contributions would be a great fit for the team. On social media, especially on IG, has captivated her fans on Instagram since October 2012. Her engaging content caught the attention of Diesel Spec, leading to increased recognition. Most of her posts feature either stunning trucks on their own or shows her alongside these impressive vehicles, which speaks to her passion for trucking and her vibrant personality. In addition to her passion for driving, Angelica is highly praised for her diligence and work ethic. She adeptly handles the physical demands of her job, including tasks like strapping, loading, and unloading. And this makes her earn the respect of many drivers across the country. In spite of the busy nature of her work, she still makes time to enjoy life with friends and her lovely pets. She recognizes the importance of striking a balance and incorporates other activities outside of work to ensure she remains efficient and effective in her profession. This level of dedication to both her career and personal well-being speaks to her well-rounded approach to life. Angelica became a force to be reckoned with at such a young age. But let's explore her incredible achievements and how she was able to make it in spite of the difficulties. Angelica's remarkable achievements. Angelica has become one of the world's leading trucking influencers on social media, reportedly earning an average of $6,000 monthly from her YouTube channel. This kind of income exceeds what she makes hauling freight through Sweden's snowy mountainsides, as she revealed in an interview with Insider. Interestingly, she has chosen to save the money she has earned from content creation instead of spending it on daily expenses. She plans to use her savings to travel, explore new places, mentor young women aspiring to enter the trucking industry. She noted the lack of female drivers in many parts of Europe, including countries like Bulgaria and Russia. With a significant following outside Sweden, she believes it's very important for these young women to see role models in the industry, showcasing that girls can drive trucks too. This commitment to empowering others shows her dedication not only to her craft, but also to inspiring the next generation of female drivers. Angelica initially started posting fitness content on Instagram in 2014, but she quickly noticed that her followers were more engrossed with her profession as a truck driver. Today, she has an impressive 334,000 followers on Instagram and 319,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel, which she launched 3 years ago. In October, she reportedly earned almost $7,500 from YouTube, followed by almost $6,900 in November, as shown in AdSense screenshots viewed by Insider. Her monthly earnings fluctuate based on the number of videos she uploads. She further explained that her unique following grew in part because it is a little odd for a 5-foot-tall woman to operate heavy machinery in challenging weather conditions. This uniqueness not only attracts viewers, but also underscores her dedication to break stereotypes in the trucking industry. Angelica once shared that posting one YouTube video a week requires about 20 hours of work, as she handles the entire process, which involves recording, editing, and distributing the vlogs, all on her own. Just recently, she took on a new driving position and requested 1 day off each week to commit to content creation, stating that her YouTube channel now occupies about 50% of her work week. Her channel reflects her passion, but the fame on the internet has also attracted unwanted attention. In one of her videos, she stated that because personal information is publicly searchable in Sweden, she has faced unsettling situations with a lot of stalkers showing up at her home, her parents' house, and even following her to work. This personal safety concern creates a challenging aspect of her rising fame in the digital space. I think it's a little bit scary. I don't feel very comfortable, Angelica said in a September 2020 video, addressing the unsettling experiences with stalkers. She continued, "You shouldn't come to a person's home like that. It's not okay." This invasion of privacy ultimately led her to relocate and create a fake identity to help avoid future confrontations. Beyond the safety concerns surrounding her rising fame, Angelica also shared her anxieties about balancing her dual careers as an influencer and a trucker. She fears that these commitments may hinder her plans for starting a family. "I really want to get done with this big project that I'm working on," she said, referring to her travel and mentorship aspirations that have been delayed due to the pandemic. "I really hope it won't be too late for me to start a family and become a mom. That is what stresses me out the most," she admitted, highlighting the internal conflict and pressure she feels as she navigates her professional and personal goals. She has been able to achieve a lot as a woman in a male-dominated system, which is highly impressive of her. She also has a huge fan base, which she made out of her passion. But something else happened that shook her business, her social media presence, and her personal life. Let's look into what really happened to Angelica. What really happened to Angelica? Angelica may have been one of the richest truck drivers and the first lady who welcomed the internet to her world. But she had faced a lot of dangers, which made her fame deteriorate. Her downfall was not a gradual decline, but it unfolded as a shocking and sudden implosion. It all started with a harmless announcement that began to trend through her community. She was leaving her primary sponsor and the trucking company she had been associated with for years. For her fans, this felt akin to a superhero quitting the Justice League. It was unfortunate and unexpected. What many people do not realize about corporate sponsorships is that they often come with very strict contracts and high expectations. The separation became messy, and it played out through a series of cryptic social media posts and videos revealing the underlying tensions and issues. As the story unfolded, it took a darker turn, talking about the challenges and pressures faced not only by Larsson, but also by many influencers navigating complex corporate relationships. The fallout sparked conversations around accountability, personal brand management, and the intense scrutiny placed on public figures in the digital age. As rumors swirled, questions regarding Angelica Larsson's departure from her sponsor intensified. Was she fired? Did she quit? Accusations of unprofessionalism and broken promises began to emerge from anonymous sources, and her once spotless image started to suffer. What many failed to recognize was that Angelica found herself in an impossible position. Bound by non-disclosure agreements, she was unable to speak openly about the situation, leaving her vulnerable to rampant speculation and unable to defend herself. Her silence created a serious void, which also announced a narrative to develop beyond her control. The drama engulfed the trucking community, bringing up a couple of gossips. But just when it seemed things couldn't get worse, a second, more devastating blow came, further complicating her already tumultuous situation. The unfolding events not only impacted her professional life, but also her personal well-being, illustrating the harsh realities of life as an influencer in a highly scrutinized arena. Her own brand, which includes her merchandise line, seemed to vanish into thin air overnight. The website went offline, social media pages were wiped out, and fans who had placed orders found themselves empty-handed and confused. This situation was more than just a business misstep. It felt like a profound betrayal. The community she had taken out time to build from scratch, comprising supporters who had invested in her brand, was left in the dark, struggling with confusion and anger. To say it was a public relations catastrophe would be an understatement. In her goal to build an empire, it appeared she had outdone herself, making promises that she ultimately couldn't fulfill. But perhaps the most troubling aspect of this ordeal was her response. She disappeared from the public eye. This silence only brought up further speculation and disappointment among her followers, leaving many to wonder what had truly happened and fearing the loss of the spirited influence they once admired. Her once vibrant presence faded to silence as her daily posts and weekly videos immediately ceased. Weeks turned into months, and her audience and fans experienced what felt like the digital equivalent of vanishing from existence. For a creator whose entire career thrived on consistent communication, this absence left a significant void, filled only by gossip and increasingly wild theories. A lot of speculations ran among her millions of followers. Had she given up on trucking? Was she facing legal troubles? The woman who had once lived her life in the public eye was now entirely absent. Yet the truth behind her silence was a little darker. It was a perfect storm of logistical burnout, corporate pressure, and personal struggles. Shuffling the roles of a truck driver, a CEO, and an influencer simultaneously proved too exhausting, and that delicate balancing act had come crashing down. This complex reality showcased the often overlooked challenges that accompany the life of an influencer, particularly when navigating the high stakes of brand management and public expectations. The empire that Angelica had built so quickly crumbled just as rapidly, leaving behind a trail of broken contracts, dissatisfied fans, and a tarnished reputation. What had once been a dream transformed into a nightmare, all unfolding under the public's spotlight. However, her narrative doesn't conclude in just her first empire. Instead, it takes a different turn, one of quiet rebuilding and reflection, which was driven by lessons learned from her experiences. After the storm, silence enveloped her presence, but for those observing her journey, a key question loomed large. Many questions came in rapidly. Could such a dramatic fall truly happen just like that? Is this entirely the truth, or are we overlooking crucial details? The reality is that she didn't just vanish forever. She was regrouping away from the public eye, confronting the fallout of her career. When she eventually re-emerged, it was with an entirely new approach, one that exposed her resilience and growth. This next chapter promised to be a testament to her ability to adapt and evolve, showcasing not just her passion for trucking, but a reinvigorated commitment to authenticity and connection with her audience. Gone was the corporate and highly polished version of Angelica Larsson, replaced by a more subdued and authentic self. When she returned to social media, she approached her audience cautiously at first, hinting at important changes ahead. Angelica took a bold step by launching her own independent trucking company, which was a massive power move that signified a fresh start. She didn't want to rely on sponsors and corporate influences, so she chose to bet on herself, investing her own money into her rig and business. This initiative was more than just a practical decision. It was a declaration of independence. By returning to her roots, she re-embraced the core passion that had originally ignited her journey: simply driving. This evolution not only signaled a shift in her professional trajectory, but also aimed to reconnect her with the authenticity that her followers craved, all while allowing her to redefine her place in the trucking world on her own terms. Her content changed dramatically, and the focus shifted away from the glamorous influencer lifestyle and back to the bolts and nuts of trucking. We are talking about videos on truck maintenance, navigating difficult roads, and the day-to-day reality of life as a driver. Angelica's return was not as polished as her earlier return, but it was more genuine, and it resonated deeply with her die-hard fans who welcomed her back to form. What many may have overlooked was the kind of courage it took to face the public after such a massive failure and to implicitly acknowledge her mistakes without directly addressing them. She never talked about the past drama, which was likely due to legal constraints, but her actions spoke really high volumes. She was meticulously rebuilding her reputation 1 mile at a time, demonstrating her commitment not just to the brands, but to her profession as a trucker. Her journey spoke to a crucial distinction. She was first a trucker before being an influencer. Later on, she took control of her narrative, clarifying the fact that authenticity may require navigating complex and sometimes uncomfortable realities. She went through all of these and had her life in the line at that point. She had a lot of traumatic experiences, some of which she has not yet addressed. Another interesting topic we have to look at is how she was able to navigate this truck world and excel, even though she is a female, which is rare to find. Let's go into that quickly. Angelica and dominating the truck driving system. It's not an issue being a woman in this industry at all. In fact, I've heard from several females who reached out to me after they laped themselves. It's an absolute blast, says Angelica Larsson, who is now a resident of Gällivare. However, the lack of truck drivers was a significant challenge to the industrial boom in Norrland. In just 2022, haulage and contracting companies in northern Sweden needed to find an additional 300 drivers, according to trade association statistics. For now, only Northvolt in Skellefteå is fully operational, while a lot of massive projects in steel, mining, and fertilizer are set to kick off in the coming years. She also says in one of her interviews, "There are plenty of jobs available, and you can't help but wonder how it will all unfold." With 13 years of experience driving various types of heavy vehicles under her belt, she currently works for Eurocrane, where she basically operates different trailers at Bolidens Aitegruva, which is located just south of Gällivare. She has also taken on assignments that have had her driving to the coast and further inland. Part of her role involves transporting heavy machinery like dumpers, trucks, and drills, as well as other tasks. She stated, "I love the variety in my work. That's one of the perks of being with a larger company. You encounter a lot of different challenges. I've fallen for machine trailers. They can be quite tricky. Some are broken, and others need rewiring. Sometimes you just have to call a colleague for guidance. It's a great learning experience." Angelica believes that mastering large machines has helped her grow personally, much like how girls who frequently handle horses experience a boost in self-esteem. Interestingly, a lot of girls transition from driving horse transport to obtaining their truck licenses, which shows that this journey is more common than one might think. What do you think about Angelica Larsson and what actually happened to her? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. To enjoy more exciting videos, click play on the video on your screen. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when a new video drops.